Imagine going from a 9-to-5 job that you're living paycheck to paycheck to all of a sudden in 1 year you are making 6 figures. Well, that is exactly what my story is in real estate. I went from a fitness career to a full-time real estate agent, and let me tell you guys, my first full year as a real estate agent, I was able to make 6 figures and turn my life completely around. If you guys do not know me, my name is Abshire. I am with the Solux Group and Epic Realty down in South Louisiana. I am a top producing agent for over 5 years, and I want to tell you guys my exact strategy, what I was able to do to change my life as a real estate agent and go from not producing pretty much anything my first few months to completely changing my entire career and becoming a top producer in my area and continually growing each and every year to now having a full team and being a real estate coach myself. So if you're interested in coaching or you find anything in this video of value, please remember to like, follow, subscribe, or DM me. I would love to be able to connect with you and tell you exactly how you can coach with me for absolutely free. Coming from a fitness career where I was working a full-time job and living paycheck to paycheck, I very quickly decided that I had a passion for real estate and I knew that I could be successful in it. But the challenge that I was having in my first year is that I felt like my mentors were showing me how to do the business, but not actually how to find business. I found that to be the biggest challenge was how do I go and actually every single day run my business like a business and find actual solid real estate leads, people who really want to actually buy or sell properties. My first few deals, actually, I was very fortunate, came from my sphere of influence, people that I knew within my community, friends, family that were referred to me and decided to give me a shot. So those were my first few deals. But outside of that, how was I supposed to prospect and actually find business? Well, that was the part I was truly lost on. Well, I was actually perusing through YouTube and I was actually able to stumble across a real estate coach. At that time, I decided since I had a few deals under my belt and enough money just to cover that real estate coaching, I took a huge risk, dumped most of my savings into hiring a real estate coach, and that coach was able to help me figure out exactly what the problems were in my business and how to turn things around. And let me tell you, it changed everything for me. The first thing that he taught me that was so important was understanding your mindset. If you start with the correct mindset and if you get into the right routine and habits, that changes everything for your business. So the first thing was getting to the root of understanding that I was running a business now. I was a business owner, and that in order for me to be successful, I had to understand that every single day I had to treat myself like an employee. I had to show up to work on time, I had to perform, I had to follow up, and I had to execute on a daily basis. If I would not do that consistently, then obviously I would not see a constant flow of deals coming in. I would see my business either flatlining or having moments where I'm busy and then completely falling down. So one of the biggest things that he taught me was being consistent with not only new lead generation, but also consistent in following up with the people that you know and love and staying in front of them constantly. So one of the things that I started to implement consistently was staying strong with my schedule and knowing that I had to do prospecting time for 2 hours every single morning. Once I got consistent about that prospecting time, even doing it on weekends, taking time to make those phone calls, that's when I truly start to see my business change and a constant steady flow of leads coming in. Me personally, I was able to build my business off of cold calling. I was cold calling for sale by owners and I was calling expired. And by doing this, I was able to convert 14 in just my first year, which if you know how hard a for sale by owner or an expired lead can be to convert, you know that that is actually a big accomplishment, especially for a newer agent. So exactly how did I do that? Practicing scripts, understanding exactly how to say certain things over the phone to where I was not putting pressure on the prospect, but actually helping attract them to me, help them feel safe. They feel understood, they felt listened to, and I became the most obvious option when it came to listing their home because I tried to help them rather than tell them that they couldn't sell on their own or that they would have complete trouble once their home was expired if they went with the same agent or yada yada, whatever other agents are telling them. So a big key to when you're prospecting or when you're talking on the phone, whether it's any type of lead source, is understanding human psychology. Human psychology is so important with any communication style, and especially in sales. The more you start to master human psychology, understanding the way that we think and the way that we act, the more successful you're going to be in sales and learning how to say the right things. No, it's not pulling the wool over their eyes. It's not tricking them. It's not doing a bait and switch. It's just learning how to communicate from a level where they feel understood, they feel heard, and then they truly see your intentions are to help them, and that you don't just have commission breath, that you're just trying to get a paycheck at the end of the day. Because I can tell you one thing, sellers, buyers, anybody you work with in real estate, they can always feel a desperate agent. You cannot have the feeling that I need this paycheck or I need something from you. The second that they feel a needy vibe where you're trying to suck something out of them, that is the second the prospect is going to check out. You have to be really fixed and focused on how can I serve you? How can I help you better? And if you come from that place of serving and helping, then obviously they will have that energy that feels of reciprocation, where they want to give something back to you because they felt like they benefited from talking with you or from the things that you had been offering them. Just like any lead service, of course, too, it's always going to be the money is in the follow-up. You have to be consistent with your follow-up with these people. Your first conversation sometimes may go well. I have had some people after just a first conversation call me back and be ready to list, but those are few and far between by a long shot. The ones who I found that were the most successful in converting were the ones who I actually stuck with long enough, and I was the last man standing. Other agents are calling them, other people are talking to them, other people are prospecting for their business. So the thing is to stand out and to be the last man standing, meaning I will continually follow up with them until they tell me to die, go away, or I listed with somebody else. Those are really the only things that would make me stop following up with them. Otherwise, I would continually find value, talk with them, connect with them on a deeper level, and offer them services that would be helpful to them. If you're curious exactly what those scripts were that I was using, I actually have a script book that is absolutely free that I would love to share with you. If you DM me or book a call with me, I would love to be able to share that script book. Reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you with that. Something I think that is key is understanding your schedule and sticking to it and being hard and fast on it when using this type of strategy for follow-up. So if your goal is to get listings and you're gonna constantly be making phone calls on a daily basis, you have to look at your schedule and say to yourself, these are the things that I'm gonna execute on and these are non-negotiable. So for instance, if I choose 2 hours in the morning that I am going to prospect, I have to call for those exact 2 hours. Nothing else exists. Do not check text messages. Do not answer phone calls. Do not take emails unless it is an absolute emergency, which that is very rare and very few and far between. If a client is calling you, you can call them back. It's just like you were in a showing or another appointment. I promise you, they can wait. Make that time your blocked out time and a non-negotiable to prospect every day. Even when you're busy, you have to have other things around that prospecting time to continue looking for new business. 2 hours prospecting every day, and I promise you, you will find business. You will find your first deal, and you will continue to find a steady flow of deals. The more you practice, the better you will get being on the phone, and the more experience you will get with turning these prospects into actual clients. After that 2 hours of prospecting, your next hour should be cleaning up any of the leads that you just contacted, sending emails, doing whatever you need to do for that follow-up of the phone call, setting any systems in place. If you're gonna send mailers, a thank you card, whatever in the mail, that is your time to do that. And then also you need to follow up with your past leads. So the ones that you have been in contact with, the ones that you need to continually follow up that were from the day before or the week before, whatever it is, use that next hour to do all of your follow-up phone calls. So call those people back, get back in touch with them, get back in front of them, stay top of mind. That is what's going to help you to continue to succeed. Now, this same formula can apply if you're getting online leads. If you're not calling for sale by owners, circle prospecting, expires, for rent by owners, those are all different types of leads that you can be calling, but this same applies if you're getting online leads from Facebook ads, Google, Zillow leads, whatever you're getting, the same concept applies. I should be taking those 2 hours to prospect and call those leads and then follow up. So any Any new leads we call first. The newest, hottest leads we call first. Then we follow up on any of our older leads that are sitting in our system. We clean up our system, see if they've sold. We follow up and see if they've listed with anybody else. That is our time to do that follow-up. Then when 12 o'clock rolls around, we always take a lunch break. We need time to be able to shut it off. We need to not check emails, not post on social media or any of the things that feel like working. Take some time to actually take a lunch break. Don't take any phone calls, but if you do, call a friend. Do something that feels more recreational and that builds up your energy for the afternoon, because the last thing you want to do is still work all the way through lunch where you feel like you've had no break, no time to recoup your energy to be ready for the afternoon. So after our lunch break, we come back to work ready to work. So what we do in the afternoon is all of those phone calls that we've been making. That is the time that we take time to respond back to clients, go on showings, go preview homes in the area, go on any appointments that we might have made with for sale by owners, expireds. Any of those appointments that we've been getting from the phone calls, we always try to book them in the afternoon on into the evening times. And then we have to have a hard stop for work where we cut things off, where we go home, we eat, we relax, we have time to recoup and be ready for the next day. I promise you, if you stick to this hard and fast schedule every single day, you will start to find business, you will be consistent, and you will be closing deals. Just you have to make all of these things non-negotiables for yourself. One of the beautiful things that started to change about my strategy after I had hired that real estate coach, learned everything about working leads and phone calls, was I had a strong passion for social media. So I wanted to understand, how exactly does social media get involved with follow-upping with leads? How do I layer in social media with the cold calling and with the prospecting that I was doing? So what's beautiful is I came up with a system where I would still do cold calling, but I still had a lead influx that was coming from also social media posting. So I kept people involved in what I'm doing on a daily basis on social media, right? Showing them the phone calls that I'm making, the times that I'm following up, going on prospecting calls, also running ads that target the people that I actually spoke on the phone with. If I got their email address, I can use that to put a Facebook ad that does anything about real estate, and I can target that ad to go back in front of that client. So by doing that, I'm able to stay in front of that client in multiple ways. The phone calls, text messages, by mail, by social media, all of those different things are all ways that I can stay in front of the client and continue to strengthen my systems where I'm staying top of mind and I'm that obvious choice for them for anything real estate needs in the area. If you're curious exactly about how I execute on these systems, then please DM me, book a call with me. I do not mind, I have time for you, and I would love to show you how I am coaching agents every single day to find success in their business, to grow their brand, stronger social media presence, better communication skills with strong scripts, and closing deals and becoming top producers. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.